Welcome to, all right, folks. Well, welcome to Big Win Wednesday. We do this event, we do this online training every Wednesday, like clockwork, where there's 3 sessions each and every Wednesday. The first session is this session here called the iConversations, where our rockstar sales agents at eXp Realty, we feature an icon agent who teaches you how they are currently selling about 30 homes or more per year. 2 weeks ago, we had an agent who's selling 100 homes every year. Last week, we had an agent who sold, I think, 60 plus homes a year. And they reach a level where we call an icon, where they basically are earning 100% of the commissions and paying nominal fees to the organization. This week, we have a very special guest, Debbie Tran, a friend of mine for years on end now. Debbie is based out of Austin, Texas. And we're doing something special this week. We are featuring one of Debbie's mentees in the business, Michael Coffman. Michael Coffman is just 7 months in the business. And if you wouldn't believe it, I couldn't believe it when I first heard the story a couple of weeks ago, as he's working on 4 listings now after being in the business for just 7 months. And he still holds down a full-time job as an educator, as a math teacher in his high school, okay? So if you kept saying to yourself, man, how do you do this and get 4 listings in 7 months as a rookie agent? I can't wait for Michael to share his story. The second part of Big Win Wednesday is eXp Explained. For those who want to stick around at the top of the hour, my special guest and co-partner, Pat Manning from New York, is going to show the eXp Realty model, the model by which all of us are participating here at eXp to build our business, to build revenue share, to build a whole bunch of things. And then the last part, the last third hour, is we're going to teach you how to build a revenue share organization to create passive residual income, to leave a legacy and pass your business on to your next generation. So let's get right into it. So let's get right into the iConversation. Debbie Tran, why don't we start with you? You're an icon agent. For those who don't know what an icon agent is, every agent that starts here at eXp Realty, if you've closed 3 or more transactions in the past 12 months before joining the organization, you start at 80% split. No franchise fees, no royalty fees. And you go from 80% to 100% once on the residential side, you generate $80,000 in gross commission income, okay? After $80,000 gross commission income, and I believe in Debbie's part of the world in Austin, Texas, that's around 8 plus or minus transactions, maybe more, okay? After that, you graduate to 100% commission, and for the rest of your anniversary year, you keep 100%, we deduct a $250 transaction fee, and you close another 20 transactions. That's it. After you close another 20 transactions, you hit icon, and that's a very prestigious position that Debbie Tran has. She's hit it for 2 years in a row, by the way. When you hit that, not only do you continue to add 100%, but we give you the entire 20% that you paid into the company back in company stock. So essentially, you're 100%. Debbie, go ahead and introduce yourself. How long have you been in the business? And tell us a little bit of your story.
Hi, Tom. So honored to be on. And well, I've been in the business for about 6 years now. I joined back in 2017. And honestly, I've only been with eXp since 2021. I joined under Calvin Wong. And then right away, my first month, I capped. Within a month.
First month, and you cap. First month, she sells $80,000 in commissions in 31 days. I love it, okay?
Yeah.
She graduates to 100% commission.
Month. Yes. And then after that, within 6-7 months, I hit icon.
I love it. An icon is about 30 or more transactions a year.
I did 45 that year.
Woo! 45 transactions, guys.
Yes.
Totally amazing. All right. So Debbie, okay, so cool. Hold that thought for a second. Michael Coffman, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I'm Michael Coffman. I've been in the business for about 7 months now with eXp. I met Debbie at a open house. She posted on the workplace that we have that she needed someone to help out with an open house. And I didn't have a whole lot going on that day. And I knew that that was what we needed to do to kind of get our name out there. So I hosted the open house for her, and she swung by then and met her and said that she's willing to bring on a mentee. And so I was like, well, that'd be awesome. Let's just do this thing. And been phenomenal since then, been helping me out. And it's been awesome. I am a full-time teacher, so it's been kind of a struggle or, doing both, but I try to do both things at the same time. And I think I do a pretty decent job of it. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Michael, for being here. So if you know about
Thank you for
our
having me.
backgrounds, Debbie Tran is sitting outside in some beautiful place in warm weather. She is free to roam. She can go wherever she goes. All right. She can travel the world and still sell 40 plus houses a year. Michael Coffman, pan your camera. Where are you sitting? Go ahead, my man. Pan your camera.
I'm actually in my classroom right now. We got some Algebra 1 on the board there. We were talking about earlier, and got my computer set up here. And so just got done with, I'm actually a coach as well. Just got done with practice. I'm hustled over here for this awesome meeting. So.
All right, guys. So if you tell me you're holding down a full-time job, he's a high school teacher. He pours into his kids, I'm sure. Yet he still finds time to do real estate full-time, by the way. Right? I bet you
Yes,
Michael
sir.
never tells his clients that he's a part-time agent.
No, no, sir.
That's a kiss
No,
of death,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir. I'm always, tied up in meetings or something, never part-time. Yes, sir.
Exactly. You just tell them you're booked, you're scheduled, and you have partners like Debbie who can cover for you, and other agents here at the organization will cover for you. So you never say you're part-time, you got another job. That's a kiss of death, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
All right. Let's get into it. Debbie Tran. Tell us, what do you do to sell 40 houses a year and still have a life? You, by the way, folks might not know, you took how many months off? How much time did you take off recently?
2 months off.
2 months off, right?
Yes.
She is looking terrific. She's not stressed out. Her business keeps going. So Debbie, tell us about your real estate business and how do you do it? To teach our agents here. There's about a dozen of us on the call right now. How do you do it? What's your secret?
I think the secret to real estate is that you got to treat it as a business, right? And then not just that, it's work-life balance. People think, it's impossible to do, but you have to do it and not so that you don't get burned out. So take it like it's farming, right? You're gardening. You got to cultivate the land, and then you got to plant the seeds. You have to make sure you nurture it, water it, just nurture it and then wait for it to grow. But you have to continue doing it. Just don't close on the deal and then take a vacation, because then, it's too hard to rebuild that business. So you're constantly building the business, but then don't burn yourself out by doing it. So, yeah. And I think the key is to dive in and understand, your market, know your market very, well, so that you can speak the language. You have the confidence to tell your client. It's the key.
Okay. How do you dive in? We got rookies here. We've got agents who's not selling 40 homes a year, Debbie. Give us some more specifics. How do you dive in and know your market?
Well, kind of like that. You're diving into Big Win Wednesday, connect with the people that is successful, connect with the people that, have it made, have a system down. Time blocking, right? Block the time to talk to the right people. Don't be everywhere. Don't say yes to everything. Make sure you have, your agenda down. At what time am I going to answer calls? At what time am I going to answer my emails? At what time am I going to call these prospects? So you put a plan together. 7 days a week, you can't work on 7 days. Take 1 day off for yourself. So that, you can, and when you do take that 1 day off, go out, have a drink or whatever, you'll be surprised. That's how I meet most of my clients.
Drinking, man, I like that.
It's about having a conversation. And then once you have a conversation, people just wanted to, hear what you had to say, and they're interested in buying a house, but then their agent is not helping them. So you never know. Like, I got approached by one client one time. Hey, I heard that you were a real estate agent. I've been looking for the last 2 years, and what is it that you can advise me to do? I mean, I had to tell them, okay, this is what are you looking for? Listen to what they have to say. And then the key is to listen. Don't tell them what they need to know. We're not sure what their wants are. So listen to what they have to say. And then from there, cater to their needs. And then, help them out. Give them what they need.
I love that, right? Listen to what they want, cater to what they need. Don't tell them what you know about real estate, because they don't really care what you know, right? Okay.
True.
Thank you, Sam, for taking the notes. I love that. Guys, by the way, this is open forum. If you have questions that you have at the top of your mind, go ahead and put it in the chat, or feel free to just turn on your video and open up your mic and ask the questions. This is why we do this. It's a live sales coaching and accountability call. So Debbie, dive in a little bit more about what kind of, like, you, I know you very well. You're very soft-spoken. You are approachable. You're not really coming at agents like a used car salesman, right?
No,
How do you
not
how
at
do you
all.
start a conversation? How do you let people know that you're in the real estate business?
Well, like you say, because I am a little bit more softer spoken and I'm not as aggressive, people have that trust in me, knowing that, hey, you know what, I'm not just about the money. I'm actually looking out for their best interests. And then, I do know my market very well. Always make sure that, you join an organization, be a part of the town that you work for, and then give it back, right? So I learned this from you. You got to do well in order to do good. And that's my philosophy, because I got that from you. It's like I tried to do well so I can do good. And that was why I was a part of ARIA, because I wanted to do good.
I love that, Debbie. So ARIA, for those who don't know, it's called the Asian Real Estate Association of America. It's a national organization to promote housing. We also have members on the call here. Luz Montanez, who I see is part of the NAREB, the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. We have agents who are part of NAREB, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, which is, the Black Association. We have members who are part of the Gay and Lesbian Group, the Women's Council, on and on and on. A lot of leaders, a lot of us do well, so we can do good, right? Debbie, you serve at ARIA under what capacity, right? You give back to your nonprofit. Tell us about that, because I believe you get business from that as well, from serving.
Yes. So of course, what we stand for, we do just like EXP. We network a lot. We have a big organizations, and then you also, most of the time, one-on-one, people get to know who you are. They trust you. Therefore, you also get that referrals from people. If you're gonna be sitting at home and not do anything, people don't know who you are. They don't know your personality for them to refer you out to other people. So networking for me is pretty important as well. And I think people just need to get out,
Yeah. Debbie is so modest. She is the president of the ARIA, the Asian Real Estate Association Austin chapter. A couple of years ago, she constantly serves and gives of herself, right? I have this saying, and it's not my saying.
Yes.
Somebody said it along the way: those who serve deserve. I serve not to expect anything, but ultimately, when you serve with a heart that's pure, you end up deserving, and people think of you and they want to help you out. They want to give you business. They want to refer you business. And that's who Debbie Tran is, right? Anything else you want to add to that, Debbie?
Well, because you serve, you understand the market, that you're in, right? So when you understand the market that you're in, you know how to serve your client. And that's kind of why you dive in, like I say. We dive into the market that we're in, so we know what the market is like to tell our clients should they offer or, whatever it is that they need. So that's what I mean by diving in.
All right, love it. Guys, I hope you're coming up with some questions and you want to ask Debbie and Mike soon. All right, Mike, let's talk about you.
All right.
You're newly licensed, 7 months in the business. What have you done that you would associate your success with? 4 listings, you're working on 4 listings right now, still doing it part-time. Well, part-time in our eyes, but full-time in your client's mind. Tell us about how you're doing it, man.
Man, honestly, just with KV Core, when I first got on, I was told cold call, obviously meet people, and so I actually live like an hour and a half from my parents. I live, near close to South Austin. And so my family's an hour and a half away. I don't really have a huge sphere in this area. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go out and meet people. And I'm just thinking about the rate at which I'm meeting people, the rate at which I'm getting my name out there. I need to get those numbers up, right? So then I start cold calling. And with the problem was that since I am, quote full-time teaching, or I technically am full-time teaching, what have you. During my conference period, I was only able to call, let's say, 10 people. 8 of those are going to 5 are going to voicemail, 4 are not answering, and one of them's like, yeah, don't ever call me again. I don't want to listen, whatever. And that could be my tone, what have you. And then I started playing around with KV Core and watching other YouTube videos. And basically, I mean, those campaigns will automatically send out texts and emails for you, right? So I was like, wait a minute, okay, so if it will automatically text them, what if I just sent a text and said, hey, let's say an expired listing. Okay, I saw your house for sale. What happened with that? What, did you not want to sell it? And then over time, I got quicker at the system, finding, numbers, emails, punch them into the database. And next thing you know, I mean, I'm at 950 people right now. And I started this process since probably November of punching people into my database. And, you would be really surprised on how many people will sit there and have a conversation with you via text about why their house didn't sell. They want to tell you, especially when you say something like, well, did you not want to sell it? It just kind of creates that conversation. And some people just rather communicate about that through text and phone call. Now, once the conversation gets to a certain point, yeah, I'm going to pick up the phone and call them when I get an opportunity so they can hear my voice and get to know me a little bit better. But just to see, kind of just initiate the conversation. But I found that the rate that I was getting my name out there and talking to people was much more significant with KV Core. And I mean, that's not even touching the landing pages and squeeze pages that KV Core has as well. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful what it can do. And it kind of, just like most other agents, when I first got onto it, I'm like, okay, this has got a lot going on. I'm not sure if I understand how to use all of this. But I started diving in, watching YouTube videos and learning from a lot of people. And then now I'm at me just being a teacher itself. I want to tell other people, hey, this is what I did. I want you to know that. So maybe it might help you,
I love it, Mike. So listen, did you guys hear that? 7 months from the beginning in a brand new real estate business, Mike has 900 contacts in his KV Core. When you break it down, that is nothing, guys, right?
Mhm.
Let me break it down for you so you really understand. So after 7 months, he's got 900 agents, 900 contacts in his KV Core.
Mhm.
That works out to 128 contacts per month divided by 30 days. That means he's entering 4 to 5 leads into his KV Core a day. For those who have heard me teach this real estate business, I say get in touch with 20 people a day, right? I think Mike has also done more than 20 people a day. But when you get in touch with 20 people a day and you enter 5 a day, in 7 months, you have 900 people in your KV Core and you get 4 listings. Got it? Please, it's building blocks. Eric Thomas, you have a question, go.
Hey, not a question, but Mike, I want to salute you because my career has been calling expireds. And just this week, my brain says, how do I use KV Core to maximize my expireds? And here I get it from a rookie from 7 months into the business. So, I mean, I put them in there, but I don't put them in there the way you've done. You just opened up the door for me. So thank you.
No problem. Yeah, I mean, it works out. And, a lot of people do, they respond with stuff, because on KV Core, when it texts them or, the email, either one email, it says unsubscribe, or text, it says stop. Or a lot of people do say stop or unsubscribe, but there will be a lot of people that will sit there and tell you about what happened with my agent didn't do this. And here I am brand new in the business. Like, you mean to tell me that someone couldn't text you or call you back? Like, I mean, I'm texting you, talking to you right now. As much effort as I'm giving into this conversation right now, that I will give it to you and get your house sold. What happened? Let's let's see what comps. Let's talk. What happened here? And then by the time that it just kind of maybe going from the cold call to a warm call. But a lot of times, I mean, it just, that conversation is going to be there and you can have it more easily, I guess I would say.
All right. I'm going to dive back into the KV. We're going to take a deep dive into KV Core for the last 15, 20 minutes of this conversation. I'm going to switch the conversation back to Debbie Tran for a second, because I know she's got a hard stop at 45 minutes past the hour, and I've got an icon here, and her time is worth a lot. Debbie, tell us about why you decided to be a mentor and add people to your team. I think I know why, and you said at the beginning of the call. I wonder if people understand that, but dive into that. What is the relationship between you and Mike? Why did you decide to do that? Okay, and how has that affected your business?
Well, first of all, it started because, the culture, right? EXP have a culture and giving back. So I had to go, okay, for me to get back my 2000, what culture works for me? I believe being a mentor was a great one, because now I can give back to newer agents. We've always, we've been there, we struggle. So why not? Why not lend a helping hand and then see if we can partner? So actually, Michael and I partner up. I don't see myself as a mentor. I don't see him as a mentee. He does what I cannot do. I cannot sit there and cold call all day. Yeah, but I go, hey, Michael, why don't you cold call? And then if I need to go show, because I give him the ability to do what he still does. And then I can meet up with clients. I can, do the other half. So I would recommend, partner with someone,
Yeah.
and then
And I
being
love
the
that,
mentor
right?
to help.
Partner with someone. See, Mike partners with Debbie. Debbie doesn't see him as a mentee, and nor that way, right? Even though there's a formal relationship, guys, if you're out here trying to do this by yourself, you don't have it figured out yet, right? You work on a team. We all work on a team. When you are at your kid's baseball game, at your daughter's dance recital, serving your community, giving back to the church, temple, whatever, you're booked. Who doesn't want to work with a busy person? But when you're booked, it doesn't mean that you can't serve your clients. You say, hey, I'm booked. Guess what? My business partner, Debbie, can cover for you. And if Debbie can't cover, I'll get Mike to cover. I'll get Eric to cover. I'll get Pat to cover. I'll get Vivian to cover. And when you're working with me, you're getting the whole team. And this is how you find a work-life balance. Mike, Mike and Debbie, you want to expand upon that?
Well, I was just going to say,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, all right, exactly that. I mean, Debbie's a little more North Austin, but let's say I do come across an expired or some information. She's always can just go show the property. She's North. So we're taking the area that we can, cover a lot wider, right? North Austin, Georgetown, all the way down here to Kyle, Buda, or even out here to Wimberley. We're gonna make it work somehow. And every single time I'm talking to a seller or a buyer, on my team, on my team, on my team, whether it be I'm talking about Debbie, or I could post in Workplace and say, so that's another great thing about EXP and picking. I know we're going to talk about KV Core in just a little bit, but just even using the company listings and posting the landing pages, that's our team. I actually had someone reach out to me. I was like, dude, how do you have so many listings? I know you just got licensed. I was like, well, as EXP, we're one brokerage, right? So it's like it's kind of our listing. I mean,
yeah,
in a way, it's our listing. So and I found out actually his wife got her license. So now maybe I've initiated that conversation into, hey, well, maybe she should just join EXP and she can get some of these listings too and build this business. So
Russia.
That's right. So Debbie, do your clients ever feel like you're not servicing them because you just took 2 months off?
No, because I always present that, hey, I have a team working for you. That makes them feel, wow, they're never left alone, right? Hey, if I'm not able to answer your call one of my team. They'll take great care of you, like, I would take care of you. So that's the key, is like making sure that they're always taken care of. If I'm not around, someone will take care of them.
I love it, right? So agents, you guys are on this call. I hope you take that to heart, right? The other 14 of you on this call, do you have an accountability partner? Do you have a business partner? Do you have someone to cover for you so you don't go crazy answering your phone every single time it goes off? So you don't go nuts with your significant other trying to have dinner with them and texting and picking up a phone call and like not spending Valentine's Day together like you should be. Instead of spending quality time, you're texting and making phone calls and you're stressing out because you're worried you're going to miss a call. Does that make sense, guys? So make sure you find the workplace balance, right? Work-life balance.
It's okay to miss a call, right? Because you just got to pick up the phone and call them back. Don't feel like you have to answer your call right away. Yeah.
I love that, Debbie. So tell us about that. How do you as an Icon agent manage expectations with your clients?
I always set out expectation first of all. If they're gonna work with me, they know that hey, after 8 o'clock, do not call me, right? Unless it's urgent, text me and I will get back to you. But there's also hours that you need to set at the very beginning when you meet your client. Yeah. And then after that, they know what is it that, I always listen. So I make the effort of listening to their needs. And then from that, I address it. So there's no miscommunication that I'm always talking. I guess that's the other thing. That's why I'm a little bit more soft spoken. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not gonna talk over you.
But you set the
Yeah.
right expectations, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Here's another tip
Yeah.
for you guys, and we talked about it in the week's icon conversation. But here's a tip for you: if you're used to answering emails at 11 p.m., 12 at midnight, at 1 a.m., or whatever crazy times, in most email systems, and certainly with EXP, we have it, right? We use the Gmail system. You can set so that you can answer 30 emails, 40 emails, and not have it send off until 8 a.m. in the morning or 8:30 a.m. in the morning. So you're setting the right expectations with your clients that you're not answering the emails at 11:30 p.m. or 1:30 a.m. Now they know, oh my goodness, Debbie is on it. At 8 o'clock, she's answering my emails, but you did it 5 hours earlier, 7 hours earlier. Hopefully that works for you guys, okay, as a tip. Any other tips about time management? Mike, you hold down a full-time job, man, right? How do you manage the time and how do you manage expectations with your clients?
Just the time blocking, like Debbie said earlier, the moment I get here, in between, I'll lecture for a little bit. And the moment that the kids are working, I'm time blocking, I'm looking at expireds, looking at, right now with the listing I have in Canyon Lake, I'm circle prospecting, right? Like I'm looking at, okay, homeowners in the area and see, can I reach out to them and see if there's anything I could do to help them? But I'm strictly just prospecting from 8:30 till 11:30. I've designated. So even if I have to reach out to someone else about something, like let's say I've already talked to a seller, I'm going to make a CMA for them. I'm not going to do that till after I prospect for the morning. I think time blocking is a huge thing because especially with this market, from what I've discovered, is that like if you sit back and it'll be slow. Like if you don't do the prospecting, things will be slow, versus we got to always anticipate that it is slow. So I've always kept in my mentality that like, look, this is what the market I brought up into, so I'm just going to keep this system going until it fails me, and then maybe look at something else. But I think it's going to be all right. I think it's going pretty smooth.
Yeah, and he's time
From
blocking.
what Michael say, but from what Michael also say is that make sure if you're gonna set your mind to do something, stick with it. Stick with it for at least 3 months to see if it works, to see if it pan out, right? Don't just take one thing and try for a month and say, oh, this is not gonna work out, and try something else. This is not gonna do anything for you. You need time, for it to really see it, fruit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things Debbie told me too. If you get to know me, I'm like just 100% all the time. Let's go. All this
Yes.
energy. And so I had all these ideas. I'll go, I read this, I need to do this. And Debbie was like, look, pick one
I'll pull
thing,
it back.
do it for like 3 months. And because you're not going to know, I was going to, do everything in the book and at once, because I was just eager and hungry for business. And she was like, no, pick one thing, do it for 3 months to see what happens. So, and then I started doing this, and it's about 3 months or something like that. That's when, I guess, November, what is that, 3 months, it started picking up. And exactly, so now I'm kind of in this program and going from there. So.
All right, Debbie, what was the advice you gave Mike? What was the one thing that he needed to pick?
Well, see, so he's an eager, oh my God, he's an eager agent. He thinks he can do everything. And I was like, Michael, there's 24 hours of a day. Choose one thing that you think you're passionate about doing, and then stick with it. Stick with it for 3 months. After 3 months, if it doesn't work, then we can try something different. But, you need to try it first instead of, try it for a week or two. And then he does get discouraged sometimes. It's like, no, it's been a month, nothing happens. Like, you need time. And then I think the second month, Michael, you start getting calls, and then things start, coming together.
I'm dying. What is the one thing? That's what I'm asking. What is the one thing?
Just prospecting.
Yes.
The KV core. Honestly, I told Debbie, I was like, I have this system, and like I remember
That's
Debbie.
it.
I texted her. I was like, "Hey, I think I have a listing appointment. I've been talking with this seller, and sure enough, went on the listing appointment. And the guy was like, "All right, well, yeah, send me that listing agreement. Let's get on the market." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like, because I've tried so much stuff. I've been discouraged. I've been, what am I doing? Am I doing this right? And finally, whenever that hit me, I was like, okay, so I've got success. I know that this is something I need to keep doing. Now I'm just going to use all the energy that I was using on other stuff and dive into KV Core. So it's nice.
Yeah. I love that,
You
Mike.
have the system there for you. You have KV Core. You need a CRM. You need things to keep you organized. KV Core have everything that you need to keep you organized. And then for newer agent, you don't pay for it. It's included in your, yeah, it's in your fees. Why not take advantage of it? Use it to the max. And I mean, it really helped Michael out.
I love
Yes,
it.
definitely. I was, I tried RedX and different things. And I was like, it's on a teacher budget, and I was like, well, I know I'm already paying for KV Core, so I'm going to see if I can make this work. And it's been helping out. It's been working nice.
Yeah. And I have this saying for those who've heard me speak, right? If you invest 1 hour a day to generate leads the way we teach you to generate leads using KV Core, in 3 weeks or so, you will have more leads than you can handle. Mike, how much truth is in that?
Very much truth. Between like I said, the campaigns and your video actually of the landing pages of, picking a house for sale with EXP, and I just shared on my business Facebook page, and then I share it with my personal one, and the rate of return is it's good. It's lots of people going to the page, and it's nice with KV Core. It generates that page, and if you look, it has your picture on there, it has your contact information, all about the house. And so it's so easy to do. It takes 2 seconds to share that on there, and then you can go to your Instagram and post a picture of the listing and put, hey, check my bio for the link. And it's just simple. Now you're generating people to look at the page, and it's all instantly right there for you, right from the CRM, from the background.
I love it.
There you go.
I love it. Good stuff, guys. Guys, if you have questions, feel free to open up your mic or type in the text, right? For type in the chat your questions. Debbie, what else do you want to share with our agents on here on how to crush real estate sales?
Crush real estate. So there's a lot of things, So what I always say, before you spend any money, make sure you use what is given to you first. Okay. And then once you make that money, then you can spend it on what you think you wanted to try. Right. Or else you're going to spend a bunch of money and not make any money, and you're going to get discouraged and you leave this industry. This industry is here to stay. Like, how to, manage your time, how to use the system, you would do great in this, no matter what the market's like. So I say evolve, learn how to evolve with this market.
I love that advice. I'm going to repeat that, right? Sam, if you can type it in, that would be great. Before you spend any money, look at all of the tools and the services and the support that you are already getting for free. Even though it's not free, you're already getting it as part of your platform, part of $85. Before you spend any money, maximize all of that first before you spend the money. How true is that statement, right? Real estate agents are the worst. They have this disease called the shiny object disease. Let me go to a seminar. They're going to sell me this program for $300. They're going to sell me these leads for $500. I'm going to do a coaching program for $10,000. And you think that's going to solve your problem, where at the end of the day, we didn't put in the work, did we? We just simply didn't put in the work. And so we hope that by throwing money at something, we're going to get it done. Mike, how much money did you spend to get 4 listings in 7 months?
What, the $85 a month, man? So I almost bought Constant Contact, which is supposed to be used for mass emailing. So when you get people into your database, it was automatically, you email them every week, and it's a way to keep everybody in their database. I was like, man, I know it's only like $20, again, balling on a teacher's budget here. I was like, I wonder if I don't want to put them in 2 different CRMs, right? The Constant Contacts and then KV Core. I feel like that's a waste of my time. And then I started playing around with KV Core. I'm like, wait a minute, I can mass email all my prospects, whatever you have it listed as. I try to keep mine organized, new lead, prospect, and you could select everybody in your KV core, and I'm just sending a weekly email of what's going on in the market, the listing. It could be my listing, or it could be the company listing. I make a little list report image on there, and then over time, I just add things to it, take things away from it, and it's super easy. It takes like maybe 30 minutes just to make the little pie chart that I put on there. And it's an easy way just to automatically send. I'm like, dude, KV Core will do everything for you without having to go do everything separately and buy this, buy that. Exactly like you said, Tom. It's like everyone wants you to spend money on this or that. And the fact that KV Core will do all of that for you on there, it really does. It sells itself, So
I love it. Debbie?
Set all of those drip campaign, right? So you can preset it already so for it to send out every single month to your client. Keep yourself engaged with those clients. Even if they're not ready to buy, make sure you're always engaging with them. And you never know. All of a sudden, it's all gonna pour in all at the same time for you. Yeah.
Debbie, how do you stay engaged with your database, with your KV Core database? How do you stay engaged?
You can either text them, just a text for holidays. You can either every month send them, what's going on as far as where's the market, right?
The market report from KV Core. Yep.
Yeah. Or you can even create your own, content. You don't have to use KV Core contents. Create your own content so it's personalized to you, and the message that you wanted to send out to your client. And take advantage of that. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Aaron, you asked about, can we share this recording of this Zoom meeting? Yes. Well, go to YouTube. Thank you, Sam. Right there. Go to YouTube, search Big Win Wednesday. We have recorded every session going back to the beginning. You can replay it and you can listen to it. Okay. Good question. All right, guys. What other questions do you have for Debbie and Michael? I want to take questions and then I want to dive deeper into more KV Core in terms of leveraging company listings, landing pages, focusing on listings instead of focus on sellers instead of buyers. But before I get into that, questions. What's on your mind, folks? We're here for you.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi. So when you were saying you were getting from expires, when you get the expired list, do you add them into your KV Core? And
yes.
Then go from there? Okay. And then the phone number? Okay.
Yeah, so once we have their phone number, email, I'm adding the KV Core instantly with the campaign that I think I took. There's different already campaigns on there. I took their campaign. I think it was the seller prospect, maybe one. And I liked how it the time frame, right? So like every 3 days it would text them or something. But I just changed the verbiage, because if you look at the verbiage, it didn't sound like me particularly. But yes, I'm putting them in there, sending a text automatically. Hey, I saw your house for sale. Whatever happened with that? Did you not want to sell it? Automatically, they're gonna be like, well, I did. And they start talking. And then the moment they reply, I delete the campaign, just because now I've already initiated that conversation. And then, like you asked, I go call them, right? So we've already talked a little bit in text. Now I pick up the phone and call them. And it's just the rate of like good conversations is faster for me, because I feel like, hey, they already know that this conversation's coming. And, and now I remember, it's one of those, oh, I was talking to you. I'm not just a robot. I'm a real person. I'm just, and on the back end, I'm using this to reach as much people as I can faster, but I definitely still picking up and calling them. And in fact, even if they say stop or unsubscribe, well, if you read what the message says, it says, if you would rather not communicate via text, reply stop, doesn't mean that you can't call them. You can still call them. And if they say, hey, yeah, I'm not interested or whatever, okay, that's fine. No worries. And then what I do is I keep them in my database. I do delete the campaign, but I make a note on there, like, don't, not interested or whatever. That way they're not keep getting, but I keep their name in there. That way I don't go back and add them later and text them again when they don't, if they're not interested. And that way, something like that. So.
Audra, did that help? So inside our KV Core, we have seller campaigns, we have buyer campaigns, right? And all you do is you go down and you basically copy that campaign, the template, copy it and make it your own, call it Audra's seller campaign, Audra's expired campaign. Then you go into each of the emails. You can then edit that to sound like Audra, like Mike edited to sound like Mike. And then once you add a contact to that campaign, it will automatically send it out based on the schedule that you set. The campaign will say, on the 3rd day, send it. On the 7th day, send it. On the 16th day, send it. You can change it up for your market. If you think 4 days is better than 3, or 2 days is better than 3, change it.
So right now I have mine ran off of hashtags. That way I don't have to, I just put their information, and then at the last note section, I have it set on I do hashtag expired. Or right now I just created one for circle prospecting around the listing I have, and my hashtag is circle 1308. The address is 1308. So I go, get there, put that hash. It's just a quick way so that I'm not having to figure out on the, take 5 minutes to go make the campaign, make what you want it to say. And then on that notes, that's where I'm typing in hashtag expired. And as soon as I put that hashtag expired, that campaign automatically starts for that new lead that's on there. And then, like the people that I have now, the listing, I change it from new lead to client, and then you can change it. It just makes things so much nicer and everything nice and neat, and what's kind of going on, I guess.
I love it, man. When I was in Austin, Texas, I gave Debbie a big fat hug, and I gave Michael a big fat hug. I feel like reaching over you right now and give me a big fat hug, because you're that poster rookie agent that I just want to say, good job, my man, good job, just making us proud, right? You're using the system, you're leveraging all the tools that's given to you to crush this real estate business, right? And you're following an amazing leader, a sales rock star like Debbie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually,
Yes,
he
sir.
inspired me a lot of the time too, because sometimes I was like, wow, where did you get the energy? Okay, I need to pick up my game, I need to be stronger and, more enthusiastic like Michael can.
Guys, we're already 43 minutes into this phone call, into this Zoom call. I want to take a 10-minute break. We got about 7 minutes left. Debbie, if you've got to run, I totally get it. Thank you for being on here. Otherwise, stick around, right? We'll do this for another 7 minutes or so. Then we'll take a break. I'm going to eat a quick 10-minute dinner and jump back and do EXP Explained, right?
Well,
Michael.
I'm going to jump off. So thank you, Tom, for having me. Thank you, you guys, and enjoy your
Everyone
evening.
say thank you to Debbie Tran. Yeah,
Thank you,
love,
Debbie.
love. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie.
Bye.
All right.
Okay, see you.
Now we're going to talk to the rookie future rock star right here, Michael.
All right.
Hey, I have a question for Michael too that he can post.
Go ahead, please.
All right, great. Hey, Michael. My other agent was on, but he's at work, so he's jumping off. And especially now that Tom said this is recorded, and then I have another dual career agent that could not make it tonight. So if you would just speak to the question, and they've been in, one's brand new, and the other one's been in about as long as you've been in. But speak to the time management of you managing your day so you achieve still what you have to achieve in real estate. Because I think that's where I know the struggle is, I'm working 8 hours a day, and when do I do real estate per se? So if you could just talk to that, especially as it's a recording, because I'm going to send it to them.
I love
Yes,
this.
sir.
Mike, start at the top of your day. What is your Monday through Friday look like? You shared this with me. It's totally impressive, Eric. Great question. Go, Mike.
Okay, so I wake up at 6:30, get ready, come here to school. And the moment I get here, I get my computer going, and before 8 a.m., I believe it actually won't send out any text messages before believe 8 or 9 a.m. I'm just looking at MLS, checking to see what's sold and how much it sell for. And like Debbie was saying earlier, that helps give just conversation piece to talk about, right? And so by the time that 8:30, 9 o'clock rolls around, I'm going through right now expireds and circle prospecting. So mostly for the last few months, it's just been expireds, but I'm looking at past expireds. Do they still live in the house? And then going and finding their information, putting to my database the campaign that I've started. So
sorry, Michael, I've got to interrupt for a second. So 6:30, you get to school. By 8:30, 9:30, you're doing prospecting. What happens in between? Your classroom is filling up with kids, right? Don't forget about that. Fill in.
Yes,
you're
sir.
teaching.
So,
you're working a full-time job.
Yes, sir. So I get here at 7:40. Get the kids started with what they need to be doing. I do lecture for about 45 minutes. But once that lecture is over, they're working on their own, and that's when I'm punching the people. I have my personal laptop here at school, so I'm just looking at data, punching sellers into my system, to my campaign, Bell rings the first bell rings at 9:45. Then move to the second class period, teaching them for 45 minutes. And then still doing the expired, putting them into my data or circle prospecting, doing that all the way till like 11:30ish, noonish. And then I will eat lunch for about 30 minutes. And then after lunch, it's all CMAs. It's this is my conference period. So I do not have any kids, but CMAs, just talking to sellers or talking to clients or anything like that. Then I have tennis practice from 2 to 3 or 2 to 4:30 every day. So I can't do any real estate from that time. And then 4:30 on is either listing appointments, calling sellers. Between that and about 5:30, I go to the gym. So 5:30 to like 7:30, 8:30, getting home, eating dinner and reading books on how to increase pride. Yeah, keep going,
Eric, did
don't
I
watch-
answer your question? And that's Michael's daily routine. He is so disciplined and so time blocked.
Yes, sir. Don't really watch much
Thank you.
TV, but
Don't really watch so much TV. I love it.
no,
All right.
no, don't have time for it.
Don't have time for it. Great question, Eric. All right. Tell us how you leverage company listings to generate leads and how you build landing pages.
So, different ways. One way is on my weekly email. I text the agent that has the listing. Do you mind if I promote your listing on my email, email marketing? And so what I do is on my, wish I could pull it up, but on my actual email, I have a
You can
list
pull it up.
report.
I made you a co-host if you want to share it.
Okay,
It's up to
let's
you.
see. Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find a good one here.
You should be able to share your screen.
Okay, yeah.
So while Mike is pulling it up, in our KV Core system and all of your KV Core systems, you have access to all listings in your MLS. It doesn't have to be your listing. So Michael is leveraging other real estate agents' listings to market to generate leads. Okay? And I teach this all the time. I think, Mike, you learned that from one of the videos that I did.
Yes, sir, I did. I watched the video where we were sharing, you showed us to share landing pages onto our, can y'all see my screen and everything just
Yes,
fine?
we can. Go for it.
The landing pages, right? So what I do is I go to listings, my company listings, and these are all people that have listings on with EXP. So what I'll do is if you click on any one of these, let's see, like let's say this one here. Okay, if you look at the right, it's gonna create a link for you. So you can automatically take that link to Facebook, share it, and it's gonna make if you click this link, it's a page where it has my picture right here, has all the pictures from MLS. It says your agent, has my name right there and my phone number, and all about this property. So I'm going to share that not only onto Facebook as a separate link or as a separate post from my business one, sharing it to my private one, but then also on my weekly email, I create a button on my weekly email that they can see it. So I'll go back to all marketing, schedule mass emails. These are the emails. Let's see if we can look at one. I think we can. Oops.
Yeah, so on the first one, he's got 556 contacts, and the second one, he's got 502 contacts.
Yeah.
441 contacts he's emailing out to, right?
So as you can see, it's been growing, right? So not everyone that I've made contact with has a good email, but I have just a little logo that I made. Good evening. So this is the list report. This is an EXP listing. They can click this link and go to the landing page that I just pulled and made that link there, and I made it to where they click that button to go to it. And then this is just a simple housing market of new listing stuff. And then this is a little part about what I think of it. And then these are all links. So what I've done is I've gone onto my website and searched for Austin, New Braunfels, and generating a link so they can click on any of those links and it will show them houses in any of those cities. My contact information, and there's a little slogan that I have at the bottom there. But I send this out every Wednesday. And I have that set. So let me exit this out. I have it set. So when you go to make it, you go to marketing, schedule email. I've made that a template. Here I do weekly email as my template that I've already made separately. And you can edit all right there. Subject, you can put the subject in. Here's where I pick the time. So I did today at 8 p.m. is when it's going to go out. That way it's all on the back end, take 20, 30 minutes to set it up, shoots it every Wednesday on the back end for me. And I don't have to sit there and try to remember to send it. It's all take 20, 30 minutes in the day, not during the prospecting 3 hours, but after the prospecting, that CMA time frame, that's when I'll make this and do stuff like that. So social media, I'll do other social media posts during that time frame. So
I love it. Look at that, guys. More leads than you can handle. Man, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, guys, what other questions do you have? We are good. All right. Debbie Tran, she's already logged off, but I want to thank Debbie again for jumping on as an icon agent to share it with us for success. Michael Coffman, welcome to EXP, 7 months in, 4 listings
Yes, sir.
already. And watch this guy. I think is an icon in the making. Thank you, Mike, for sharing
so.
your experience and teaching us a little bit about how you crush real estate. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Michael. We're done with this section. Okay. We're going to take an 8-minute break. And then we're going to come back and do EXP Explained. If you want to learn about this model, if you're a guest on this call right now, and you want to learn about why EXP is exploding across the world as the #1 real estate brokerage to be at, and why agents are crushing real estate and all the tools and training and support and compensation plan and health benefits and stock ownership and revenue share, come back in 7 minutes. Pat Manning and I are going to show the program. After Pat's going to show the program, I'm going to be his wingman in basically 7 minutes. All right. Thank you, everybody. See you soon.
Thank you.